arrested there. I got a lot to talk about with Democratic Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley. Congresswoman, thank you. So good to see you. So
good to be with.
Absolutely. You heard my conversation with Mark about what happened with the buses. You saw that video in North Carolina. Horrifying. What do you think when you see Americans getting peppered sprayed while simply encouraging people to vote?
Well, it's just a reminder that we still find ourselves in the civil rights movement. And right now we have the opportunity to write the next chapter in our civil rights history. You know, what were fire hoses and dogs are today's what happened in my district. Arson at drop boxes is voter suppression, intimidation with long lines. So it is just more of the same, but it is also why we must be more emboldened than ever before when our democracy, our livelihood, and our very lives are all on the ballot. But it is infuriating.
The progressive leaders in the party are working hard to elect Joe Biden, all right? When you talk to progressive grassroots voters, are they all in as well here, or are they unsure? Give us a temperature check.
No, Don, I think people are clear-eyed about the stakes of this election. It could not be more stark. In Donald Trump, we have someone who has contempt for the American people. We have a pandemic that is raging out of control. We have just hit the devastating milestone of 230,000 lives lost. So people are clear-eyed about the stakes. In Donald Trump, we have someone that has contempt for the American people, a GOP-led Senate which has carried his water, and instead of passing a comprehensive relief package to meet the scale and scope of this hurt, a pandemic that is raging because of his willful criminality, instead of doing that, they had a sham of a SCOTUS confirmation process and have approved 222 federal right-leaning judges. We deserve and will have in Joe Biden and Kamala Harris an administration that has compassion for the American people. So I am urging people to vote your condition. If you have a pre-existing condition, they are coming for you by dismantling the Affordable Care Act. If you are dealing with food insecurity, on the precipice of eviction, unemployed, have lost a loved one, in this moment, every election has consequences, but this election, Don, this is the most consequential, not only in our lifetime, but I believe in our nation's history. So vote your condition and organize your friends, your families, your coworkers, the people you worship with. If you have a mail-in ballot, drop it off immediately. And if you were going to vote on Election Day, be prepared to be in line to make sure that your voice is heard, because our livelihood, our lives, and our democracy are on the ballot.
When I asked you, I said to give us a temperature check, but I also think people should realize as well, because there are, what I'm hearing out there is that people are believing that the stimulus checks that they got was a handout from the Trump administration, not understanding that is their own taxpayer dollars that they're using to help out. It is their own money that they have paid into the system that is helping. Listen, and on top of that, we've got the courts that could be involved in this election in ways that we have never seen before. Are you worried that the courts are no longer in the position in this country where they are helping to protect voting rights, because there's a great fear now that President Trump is setting up the use of courts to suppress the vote?
Sure. What he offered in his remarks about the Supreme Court will decide, or the courts will decide, is just a corruption on full display and more of the same. The response to that is a decisive mandate by the people that we need to drastically change course in this country. We do not want someone in the Oval Office who not only has contempt for the American people, who not only will not disavow dangerous white supremacy terrorist groups, but emboldens white supremacy. And Don, let me just say this to Black America. Black Americans are 3 times more likely to contract the coronavirus and 3 times more likely to die from it. Black men, the 6th leading cause for Black men right now is police brutality. This administration does not even believe systemic racism exists. And they have allowed this pandemic to rage out of control with no national testing strategy. We need Joe Biden and Kamala Harris because they will have compassion for the American people, not contempt. They have a plan for Black America. They have a racial equity agenda. And we need to vote like our very lives, livelihood, and democracy are on the ballot, because they are. People, vote your condition. Do not have selective amnesia. This is not the time to be cute.
Yeah.
You raised at the top of the hour, Don, about his attacks against myself and my cohorts, my colleagues. Why do you think he does that? Because he is anti-woman, he is anti-immigrant, he is anti-black. It's bigger than the four of us. It's about what we represent. And that is that we are champions for the working people. We are champions for all of America. And while he is worried about rally sizes and putting people at risk by having these rallies, he's feeding his ego when he should be focused on feeding the American people who are suffering under unprecedented food insecurity, unprecedented unemployment, and on the precipice of eviction because of his failures, which are all on the ballot. So while the American people are on the precipice of eviction, we need to be sending a decisive mandate at the ballot box, organizing our friends and families, and we need to evict Donald Trump, send a decisive mandate, and oust the occupant of this White House and elect Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
Congresswoman, thank you. Thanks for your giving our viewers your passion, and we appreciate you on the show. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Don. Give your mom my best.
I will. I certainly will. I'm sure she's watching. John King said that everything could come down to one state. That's battleground Pennsylvania. Can Joe Biden pull out a win in his home state, or will Trump's final 4 rallies today seal the deal? Plus, mail delays in swing states just days